We are once again on the Mountains to Sea Trail. This time picking up where we left off from the something like Lick Bridge. They call it the Lick Bridge or something like that. It's the little bridge that crosses the footpath that crosses over the Falls Lake. From that point to Cheek Road, and that little pasture you can see up there, we'll be crossing that. I remember that from I've hiked this part of the MST a number of times, and it's been a few years since I've been on that little stretch, but I do remember crossing over that pasture area. And I don't have Bella the dog with me this week. Bella is taking a siesta at home. I was out running a few errands, had to get a new battery for my car, had to get a couple of replacement screws for a outdoor electrical outlet that I'm having to replace. It's the protective cover, and just some screws that were part of the old apparatus, kind of old, rotted out, 22 years old, rusting, rotted, and had to go get some replacement screws. So anyways, I was out and about and didn't have Bella with me then, and got everything done, and just decided to pick up where I left off on the MST, Mountains to Sea Trail. So I don't have Bella with me, and actually come to really like hiking with Bella. She's just got she's just so full of a good attitude that it's just a very healthy influence for me. And she's always ready to keep going. So you probably hike a little longer, a little farther with her, maybe faster, because when she's out in front of me, she's getting it. She's setting a good pace. And then when she falls behind, she stays right with me. So I'm not sure what toggles in her brain for when she wants to be out front versus just fall in right behind me. So, but in either case, she's a great hiking companion. So a lot of interesting things going on in the world right now. These drones are circling over New Jersey, and as I discovered this morning, they're being reported all over the world. Different sort of drone formations down in Argentina, Brazil, different places in the U.S. certainly. So, not exactly sure what to make of that. And, with the lack of official information, and, if they don't have information, they don't have it. But with the lack of, anything official, you get obviously a lot of speculation. And if the information that gets reported just doesn't make sense, if and when that happens, then you're going to get even more speculation, right? Because people are following the scientific method. You have observational data, you have observations, you're trying to make sense or come up with hypotheses that fit the observed data. And you're testing the hypothesis. What's the overarching idea here that ties all these observations together? What's going on? So people are following the scientific method, and I think what's really interesting is when a hypothesis or a official story is put forth, and there's known observation points that really no one disputes the observations, And those observations just don't fit the official narrative or the official story. And that gets pointed out. And, it's like, that's just, those points are just ignored. So I just always trying to figure out what the heck is going on. So we have a nice footbridge here, and a lot of these on the MST, you'll see them in various places, and a lot of them are put up by Eagle Scouts. You'll see, so-and-so put up this footbridge completed it on June 21st, 2012 for his Eagle Scout project. And I'm very appreciative of these Eagle Scout projects. I mean, this is a great service to the community. And, when I was growing up, there just wasn't I didn't even know about Eagle Scouts. I don't think I even knew about Scouts. It's just a different sort of environment. I found this is not just me, it's a lot of kids that grew up in that era, the 80s. We were just like almost completely on our own. And, there were some downsides to that and then some upsides. The upside is you learn how to fend for yourself pretty well, like in all aspects of life. You just sort of had to kind of figure it out. And I think, something like Eagle Scout or Scouts, it kind of takes a parent or a uncle or a neighbor to kind of get you into something like that, because a kid doesn't know about that stuff. And I think you probably learn a lot of cool stuff in scouting, a lot of outdoor skills. And I've probably picked up a few of those things over the years. But, I didn't get my kids into scouting. Anyways, I think something about the Eagle Scouts and scouting when I'm on this trail, because there's all these projects done by the Eagle Scouts. And here's that field. Here's that field as we could see from a distance. We've now come up on it. And this is a really cool section of the trail, because you have these really expansive views of the lake. It's just sort of a lot of the MST, you're in woods. You have no idea you're, quarter mile, half mile, 3/4 of a mile away from the lake. And you just, you're, as far as you're just in a big forest. But this particular section, there's just such big, expansive views of the lake while you're walking. And it's really pretty. And there's the familiar white dot marker of the MST. And just a very quiet day. I've only passed someone right when I got out of the car, and then someone, I guess, a mile and a half back. This particular section looks to be about 4.7 miles each way. So if I go all the way there and back, that's a little over 9 miles. But really, so far, that stretch just has only passed really one person. So this is the Rogers Road to Cheek Road section. And another cool thing about this section of the Mountains to Sea Trail is they have a lot of these little stone mileage markers here. So you can see Cheek Road, they're showing at 1 mile, Rogers Road 3.7. So yeah, it's right at 4.7 miles. And here's a nice little Old bench. I've sat here before, and just a still day on the lake. All right, we're coming up on Cheek Road, which is going to be our turnaround point for today. We're going to head back. So you can see the sun's definitely getting a little lower, but we should have plenty of time to hike 4.7 miles back to get back to the car. So you can hear the vehicles on Cheek Road over there. And then this will be the place that I start for the next segment. Just find my way here and sort of give it a good park and tackle the next segment of the Mountains to Sea Trail. That is west. The sun sets in the west. We are on the return trip from Cheek Road back to Rogers Road on the Mountains to Sea Trail, and I just came upon this massive power line supporter. I'm sure there's a more official name for this, but it's power line tower. If you're real quiet, we might actually be able to hear the electricity on the wires. I'll be real quiet a second. No, I don't think I can. But there's the power lines going in the other direction. This is just a massive testament to engineering. It's pretty amazing. It's amazing what people can do. And this is, this is pretty old school here, but still, to make the achievement any less is to be able to move all this power around the world. So we're coming back to that little bench. And I think I'll take a rest there. I haven't really stopped to speak of since I started. So it's been 5.7 miles of a 9.4 mile out and back. And I guess we'll stop and just sort of take a little siesta. All right, we are heading west. I have about maybe 2.3 or 2.4 miles until we reach our starting point for the day. And the sun is setting, and this is sort of quintessential Falls Lake on the Mountains to Sea Trail. There's that beach area across the lake, which I'm pretty sure is Rolling View State Park. I pointed that out earlier. Or at least something similar. But yeah, it's very still here on the trail. I picked up these two walking sticks at the beginning of the trail. They had a nice little container containing walking sticks, and I grabbed two of them, and it's really been a good help when you're going any distance, partially to give you some traction, but I'm told like the real walking sticks, the commercial ones are sort of take 20% of the shock absorption of your knees. Like they take 20% of the load, because you're putting some of the load on the shock absorption on those walking poles. So they're supposedly pretty good for your knees. I could believe that. And then, but for me, it's as much about cadence as anything. They kind of help you get into this nice rhythm. And I feel I probably go a little faster when I'm walking with them for all the reasons mentioned. So, yeah, just a beautiful sunset. Work week is going to start tomorrow. This will be the final week prior to Christmas. And I think the work activity will be kind of slowed down. Some people are be taking this week off as well, so it'll be a little slower activity in the Chatosphere. But just sort of mentally gearing up for the week of work. And what a great way to wind down a weekend and a couple of hours on the Mountains to Sea trail. Need to do a little more research on this trail, like find out, how the volunteering works, because there's folks that come out and maintain each section. You kind of own a section of the trail, and if there's down limbs, I think you're actually supposed to hike it. I think the volunteers hike their section pretty often. And here's another little guidepost. I think there's a big rock out there. I've sat on that before. But yeah, it's been enough time out here. It's probably worth finding out how to be a part of it a little bit. And they do good work. Just love how the light plays on the water there this time of night. It's a really cool effect. So I think we'll wrap this one up. I got let's say a couple more miles to go. And I just wanted to check in. And hey, this is where I'm traveling this week. I think we're all traveling in one degree or another, just in our daily lives. Going down sometimes new paths, sometimes going down paths we've already been down before, but we're noticing different things this time. That's traveling too, right? You might not be going somewhere new, but you're new. You're different than the last time you went down this path. So it's sort of a new experience for you. You're finding it all in some ways for the first time. So we'll wrap this one up. You guys have a great week.